Welcome to your AI News Deep Dive for February 13th through the 15th. Lots to cover, so let's get right to it.
Yeah, no shortage of developments this week. We'll look at some major investments, check out the latest in AI models, and then dig into a few concerns that have popped up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's start with the money. Figure AI, they're a robotics startup. They're reportedly trying to raise like $1.5 billion.
Wow, that's a big number. A successful raise would mean a valuation of $39.5 billion.
That's 15 times what they were valued at before.
Yeah, investors are really buying into their vision for humanoid robots, especially with OpenAI and Microsoft already backing them. This kind of investment, it could really speed things up, get these robots out there doing all sorts of things.
And speaking of big investments, have you heard about what's going on over at Elon Musk's xAI?
Oh yeah, they're reportedly going after a $10 billion investment.
That's right, and that would put their valuation at $75 billion. Plus, there's that deal with Dell Technologies. They're going to supply xAI with servers for AI, lots of NVIDIA chips in those servers. It's a $5 billion deal.
Wow, things are heating up, all this investment. It's really driving the race for AI dominance.
Speaking of Elon Musk, he actually tried to buy OpenAI, offered them $97.4 billion.
I remember that. Pretty bold move.
OpenAI's board turned him down, though, unanimously.
It really shows you the different philosophies out there. Musk has been pretty vocal about his concerns. He thinks OpenAI should be a nonprofit so they can, avoid the dangers of unchecked AI development.
But OpenAI seems pretty set on their for-profit path.
Yeah, probably think it's the best way to innovate and get their technology out there.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little. What about advancements in AI models? What's new there?
Well, OpenAI, they're moving away from GPT-4 a bit. They're focusing on this new series of models. They're calling them the O series.
O series, okay.
Yeah, they're designed to be more reasoning-based. So instead of needing all those elaborate prompts, they're going to take more direct instructions. It seems like they're moving towards AI that can actually think and reason, not just imitate human language.
That sounds promising. More intuitive, maybe?
Exactly. And over at Google, they've got some new stuff too. Their Gemini AI can remember past conversations now. Think about that. Having an AI that remembers what you talked about before gives you more personalized responses.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But it does make you think about data privacy, though. If AI is remembering everything, where's all that information going?
Yeah, good point. That's definitely something we need to keep an eye on as AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives.
So back to OpenAI for a second. There's a rumor that GPT-5 is going to include the O3 model. What does that mean for users?
It could mean a simpler product line, easier to use, maybe even more affordable. If GPT-5 is easier to use and more people can get their hands on it, it could really change the way we interact with technology.
Interesting. And there's also Perplexity. They just launched their deep research. It uses an open source model called DeepSeek-R1.
Yeah, and it's similar to what Google and OpenAI are offering, but much cheaper. This open source thing, it could really change the game. Researchers, businesses, they could all benefit from having these powerful tools without breaking the bank.
Okay, so lots of progress, but there have also been some concerns and challenges popping up.
Yeah, for sure. The BBC actually did a study, found that AI assistants like ChatGPT and Google's Bard, they really struggle with fact-checking. They often give out wrong information, which is kind of scary.
That's a big problem. People are relying on these tools more and more, and if they're spreading misinformation, that's not good.
Nope, not good at all. Developers need to figure out how to fix this, how to make these assistants more reliable.
And there's also the whole issue of AI regulation. The AI Action Summit in Harris, it didn't go so smoothly. The U.S. Vice President criticized the European regulations, said they were too strict, and there were concerns about working with China on AI.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. Different countries have different ideas about how to regulate AI. And finding common ground, especially when it comes to ethical considerations, it's going to be really important.
And then there's the UK, their AI Security Institute. They dropped safety from their name. Kind of a strange move.
It makes you wonder what they're prioritizing. Some people think it means they're putting innovation ahead of caution, which, could lead to some ethical problems down the line.
It's definitely a complex landscape. Finding the right balance between innovation and responsible development, it's not easy.
Not easy at all. But hey, we'll be back with more news in part 2, so stick around. Welcome back. Ready for more AI news?
Definitely. What else have you got for us?
Well, ARM, the chip designer, they're planning to launch their own AI chip.
Really? I thought they just licensed their designs to other companies.
Yeah, like Apple and NVIDIA. But they're seeing a big demand for specialized AI chips, so they're getting in on the act-item themselves. Apparently, Meta is already on board as a customer.
Interesting. So more competition in the chip market.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what that means. Better products, maybe lower prices.
Good news for anyone developing AI.
Speaking of developments, there's this crazy story about some lawyers. They cited fake legal cases in court.
Fake cases, like made up.
Yeah, generated by AI. Apparently, they just took the AI's output and didn't bother to check it.
Wow, that's a big mistake, especially in a legal setting.
It just goes to show, AI can be a powerful tool, but you can't just blindly trust it. You got to double check, especially when the stakes are high.
Yeah, for sure. Makes you think we need some better guidelines for using AI in legal contexts.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about Adobe. They're launching a new subscription service for their Firefly AI models.
Firefly, those are the ones for image generation, right?
Yeah, images, vectors, video. It's a whole suite of AI-powered tools for creative stuff.
So this could be a big deal for artists and designers.
Absolutely. It's like democratizing creativity, giving everyone access to these powerful tools. Who knows what people will come up with?
It seems like every company's getting into AI now. Even Microsoft is expanding their Copilot AI assistant.
Yep, they just previewed a coding tool for Java developers. It integrates with the Eclipse IDE.
So Microsoft is really pushing to put AI in all their products.
It's everywhere. But there are still some areas where AI is struggling. There was an article in the News Stack. It talked about how the current AI benchmarks, they're not really capturing the true capabilities of AI models.
So the benchmarks are flawed.
Kind of. They're not telling the whole story. We need better ways to measure AI performance if we want to understand its real potential.
Makes sense. Okay, so what about the big players? OpenAI, they seem to be moving ahead despite all the challenges.
Yeah, they're not slowing down. They even teased a simplified GPT-5 model. Maybe it'll be easier to use. Who knows?
That would be great. More accessible for sure.
And then there's Meta. They're apparently planning a huge investment in humanoid robots. AI-powered, of course.
Robots. So they're going beyond the virtual world.
Yeah, it seems like they're serious about AI and robotics. This could lead to some big advancements in how humans interact with machines.
Interesting. But Meta also hit a bit of a snag. They're pausing their efforts to license books for AI training.
Yeah, there were some legal challenges, copyright issues and stuff. It just shows, there are all these ethical and legal considerations that come along with AI development. You can't just do whatever you want.
Right. Everything needs to be done responsibly.
Speaking of responsible AI, there's been a lot of talk about AI's impact on jobs. The AI Daily Brief podcast did a whole episode on it. They talked about which jobs are most likely to be disrupted.
That's a big concern for a lot of people.
Yeah, they looked at this new economic index from Anthropic. It tracks AI adoption across different industries. It's actually a really useful tool for understanding which sectors are most vulnerable to automation.
So we need to be prepared for some big shifts in the job market.
For sure. Reskilling, upskilling, that's going to be crucial.
Absolutely. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's some really positive stuff happening in AI too. Like in healthcare, scientists have come up with a new technique for water quality analysis.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. They're using AI and smartphones to analyze water samples.
So much faster and more affordable than traditional methods.
It's a game changer for environmental sustainability. And AI is also making big waves in medical imaging.
Really?
Yeah, they're developing algorithms that can process medical images super fast and give recommendations to doctors, could lead to quicker and more accurate diagnoses.
That's amazing. AI is really transforming healthcare in some incredible ways. We're back for the final part of our AI News Roundup.
Let's wrap things up with a few more interesting developments, starting with Data Formulator.
Data Formulator. Okay.
It's a new AI application from Microsoft Research. They're using large language models to transform data, making visualizations, that kind of thing.
So taking complex data and making it easier to understand.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a really powerful tool for data analysis. But, it's important to remember that AI isn't a magic solution for everything.
Right. There are always challenges.
Like AI agents, there's a lot of buzz around them right now. Some people are even comparing it to, Web3 and the metaverse, all that hype.
So you're saying AI agents could be just a fad?
I'm not saying that. They definitely have potential. But we need to be realistic. We need to make sure we're developing them for the right reasons, Solving actual problems, not just chasing the latest trend.
Making sure they actually deliver value.
Exactly. Sifted actually published a report about this. They warned that AI agents could be the next tech bubble.
Interesting. Okay, so we've talked a lot about responsible AI development. What about bias? Any new ideas on how to deal with that?
Well, some researchers are looking into this thing called user-driven value alignment. It's basically giving users the ability to, correct or mitigate biases in AI companions.
So the user can kind of train the AI to be less biased.
Yeah, something like that. It's a way to make sure AI systems reflect human values, make sure they're not, perpetuating harmful stereotypes.
That makes sense. There was an interesting article in The Guardian. It talked about this potential clash between people who want to take a more practical approach to AI development and those who want to go all in on, human-level intelligence.
AI roundheads versus tech royalty, they called them.
Yeah, two different visions for the future of AI. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Definitely. It's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
Well, that brings us to the end of our AI news deep dive for this week. We've covered a lot of ground. From big investments to ethical concerns, it's a fast-moving field, that's for sure.
Never a dull moment.
Definitely not. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of AI. Keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you next time for more AI news.